So, look, I've been around this NFL world for a while, as you know. And when free agency hits, it usually starts, as you know, about 2-3 days before the new league year opens up. And then about a week after the new league year opens up, that's about it. Nothing. All the big moves, big booms are kind of done by then. And I thought today we'd be talking about the big moves potentially being made with Tyrann Mathieu still out there, Bobby Wagner still out there. You've got some big-time names that are still out there to be signed. And just when you thought Matt Corral's pro day would be the biggest news of this NFL Wednesday, out comes the fact that Tyreek Hill's pissed at the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are basically not wanting to pay him, I guess, all those Davante Adams dollars, I guess. And then the news comes out that he's wanting a trade, and the Chiefs are like, go ahead and seek it. And it looks like that might be happening today. Adam Schefter, along with my colleague Ian Rappaport at ESPN and the NFL Media Group, respectively, Schefter saying the Jets and Dolphins are seriously talking for Tyreek Hill. Looks like his time could be coming to an end, says Adam Schefter. Ian Rappaport tweeted out that blockbuster trade is coming. And Albert Breer, a friend from Sports Illustrated, retweets that, saying trade could happen soon. A lot of back and forth between the Chiefs and Tyreek Hill went into this. Kansas City basically sees Hill as gone at this point.
Wow.
Ian and Tom Pelissero and Mike Garafolo reporting that Marquez Valdez-Scantling is in Kansas City for a free agency meeting today. And Ian Rappaport saying that the Packers were in on this hunt for Tyreek Hill, but not really in on it now. It really is coming down to the Jets and the Dolphins, and apparently it's the Dolphins who Tyreek Hill wants to go to. And Stephon Diggs, I believe, sums it up succinctly on his Twitter account as he tweeted out, the hell going on?
Like 15 minutes ago.
Dot.
That is appropriate.
The hell going on?
Like, seriously.
What the hell's going on?
And I think it might be as simple as Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs were talking about a long-term contract extension, and things were clearly under the radar and going along seemingly well enough that it didn't raise to this threat level until Davante Adams signs for all that money in Vegas, and the Raiders tweet out a photograph of him yesterday in silver and black. And it's kind of wild to see him hold up a 17 Adams jersey in silver and black and a new seemingly custom-made suit with the Raiders crest inside his left breast pocket. It's unbelievable. What the hell's going on? Correct.
My man looks
Stephon,
like money.
I think you nailed it.
The hell going on?
I love it.
So let's take this one piece at a time. As you know, I'm all about players getting theirs when they can get theirs in this crazy world where you're one snap away when trying to figure out if you have to either get into the media or find out another business because you can't play football anymore. So you got to get yours when you can get yours in this leverage junkie league. You've got to go and get yours when you've got the leverage to get yours. And Tyreek Hill wants his. Since coming in the league in 2016, he's been dynamite. He's been dynamite. And
not many better.
Okay, and he takes the top of the defense off. He is unguardable cutting across the field. Look, I don't need to go into his resume and his body of work. We all know it. But I would be hard-pressed to sit there and think I should be leaving Patrick Mahomes behind. I understand that he's phenomenal, and belief in self is another thing I preach here. But to say I can do it anywhere with anybody and go to Super Bowls and championship games, consecutive years, championship games, and Super Bowls every other year. Boy, you got to swallow hard, and you got to figure that out. And the Benjamins are going to be there, I think, in either place. The question is how much do you want to be the highest paid guy? And I know Davante Adams just left Aaron Rodgers. But he's going to a spot where he's with his college quarterback. It's not just anybody where they're going to have to learn a sixth sense with one another. It's kind of built in.
Yeah, they had 25 touchdowns this last year in college.
I don't know, and you can't relive old school days like with your boy Blue, like you got to get into it. But it's not like, the cupboard's bare in Vegas. I would have to really think hard. And the Chiefs, too. I know everybody believes in system. This is a great match, and I don't know why it's got to divorce. It's got to break up, and I'm curious to know why the Chiefs won't give him what he wants. Is there something going on behind the scenes, which is another thing with Hill, with the Chiefs? The Chiefs drafted him when nobody was touching him because of the way he was coming into the league with red flags all over the place. And we know that there were red flags popping up all over the place a couple of years ago in a situation that turned out to be something that wasn't what it was meant or was purported to be. Everybody can go Google that. I don't know, man. I mean, if the Chiefs are sitting there thinking, we'll just draft another receiver or we'll get Marquez Valdez-Scantling and we just got Juju Smith-Schuster and we've got Kelsey, I would swallow hard before making that move too. I can't wait to hear what this is all about. If it's about money and they don't want to pay him, then why not? I think my friend Greg Rosenthal at around the NFL podcast and the NFL media group, he was like, if the Chiefs don't want to pay Tyreek Hill, that might be a red flag for other teams before they should pay Tyreek Hill.
Right.
This doesn't make the Chiefs better, and I don't know if it makes Tyreek Hill better. But that said, let's take a look at where he wants to go. Apparently wants to go to Miami, and by the end of this show, he might be a Dolphin. As Adam Schefter saying, the Jets and Dolphins now have trades in. Question now becomes where Hill wants to become the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. For now, Hill is said to be torn. As you know, so was Watson, and then he wasn't. So the Jets want to make him the highest paid receiver in history, and so do the Dolphins. And to the Jets, I'm like, you know what? If I was the Jets, I would push it until the Dolphins, until Stephen Ross has to even blink about spending money. Which he probably doesn't.
It's like your auction league in fantasy. Like, you don't really want the guy, but you want to push him up so everyone else has to pay a little bit more.
And again, exactly it, Chris.
I might be in these words by the end of the show. Tyreek Hill comes to the New York Jets. He would easily be the most remarkable receiver the Jets have had in years. The Jets had Keyshawn. The Jets had, Wesley Walker. They had Rob Moore. I'm trying to think of some other Jets receivers that would even be remotely in the area code of somebody as dynamic as Tyreek Hill. I don't think Don Maynard.
Shout out Wayne Corbett, Rich.
Maynard, yeah. Rest in peace.
You know what I mean? Like, it would be amazing, and he would be there with Elijah Moore, and he'd be there with Michael Carter, these young kids that they drafted. They got Corey Davis. They just got 2 tight ends in free agency. They're building the offensive line. I just don't know how Tyreek Hill's going to fit in New York City. I have no earthly idea what his personality is, and whatever happened in Kansas City a couple of years ago that was a firestorm there based on his personal life would be a campfire in New York City. But the Jets think they want to win now. And again, he would leave Mahomes behind for a second-year quarterback who's got apparently the upside of Mahomes, as Tony Romo said last year, and didn't see much of it. Saw more out of Mike White last year than Zach Wilson. But let's just say he wants to go to Miami. And Miami's thinking about it, and they're ready to make him the highest paid receiver. I mean, you're there with Jalen Waddle, and they just got Cedric Wilson from the Cowboys, and they have Devontae Parker already, and Mike Gesicki, and the running backs are Chase Edmonds from Arizona, who they got in free agency. By the way, Did you know Raheem Mostert signed there?
I did not realize
Which, you know, Mike McDaniel from San Francisco knows all about him. And there's Tua with Teddy Bridgewater behind him, and Teddy's not saying who's starting. And there's no state tax, which is what I believe will be the ultimate deciding factor. If you're the highest paid player receiver in the history of the game, you might want to hold on to more of your money.
Yeah.
New York will take a little bit out of your pocket. Somebody's probably sitting there. Some CPA is probably sitting there with a slide rule in front of Tyreek Hill, and it's a very simple dollars and cents. If it's about money, he's going to Miami. But I cannot believe that two of the great, how about this? In this free agency world where we're talking about is Rodgers staying and Brady then parachutes in, I'm returning. And in between those two things, Russell Wilson gets traded to Denver. Deshaun Watson, it comes out of a grand jury in Texas, is not going to be criminally charged from his 22 civil cases that have been placed upon him. So once the criminal charges are removed, the NFL, 4 teams fall all over themselves to go get him while the civil cases are on top of him. And the one team that gets him is the one team that says $230 million guaranteed dollars, which changes the way I think everybody's going to be doing business in the NFL forevermore with these contracts. And in that wake, Baker Mayfield breaks up with the Browns first, but doesn't have a spot to land because Atlanta sends Matt Ryan to Indianapolis because the Colts, amidst all this, say, Carson Wentz, get out. We will take our losses. Get out. And the Washington Commanders are like, we'll take them, after they're probably like, hey, Russ, how are we on your pay no mind list? We gave more to Seattle than Denver gave Seattle. And Marcus Mariota is going back in the day with Atlanta, which needs an inexpensive option at quarterback because they're taking a $40 million cap hit on Matt Ryan, for whom they only get a 3rd-round pick back. And Terry Fontenot, the general manager of the Falcons, says we did that out of goodness to Matt Ryan. If we had opened it up to other places, we could have gotten more. And I'm wondering where those other places are, just like Baker Mayfield, because I don't know where he's landing, because Jameis Winston winds up going back to New Orleans once they lost out on Deshaun Watson. And in the midst of all of that, not one, but apparently 2, the top 2, you've got to say, I don't think there's any argument, the top 2 quarterback wide receiver combinations in the National Football League break up like the Beatles.
Broken up? Like, what is happening?
That Fab 4 of Rodgers and Adams and Hill and Mahomes breaking up.
First of Fat Boys breakup, TJ.
Right?
What is
Every
happening?
day I wake up.
What is happening?
Once again, the great laureate poet of Buffalo, New York, as he tweeted out upon the news of Tyreek Hill being on the market, the hell going on? Says Stephon Diggs.
The hell going on?
Honestly, give him an award for the greatest 4-word tweet to sum everything up.
I mean, if you want to throw in Russell and DK too in there, Rich.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That top 3.
Gone.
Yeah.
See ya.
Meanwhile, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are just smoking
And by
cigars.
the way,
Like,
by the way,
what's up?
Dak
Right.
Prescott
Well,
and
Burrow-
Amari Cooper.
Well,
Yeah,
Burrow-
it's just like-
I mean,
That's
4.
say what you will. That was a combo. Gone.
And Burrow and Jamar Chase smoking cigars.
just like, hey,
while
cool.
Burrow is more well protected.
Yeah.
Don't tell me the Bengals aren't a major threat for time to come.
I'm still tripping off of Trent Dilfer's comments about.
Well, he didn't like what they are up front. Maybe we'll get him back on now that we see what's up front.
Yeah, I'd like to know if he wanted to redact that statement.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
Things change. At the time when he said it, he probably, it was true.
But we all knew they had, like we said, they had one job, fix that line, and they did it.
the hell going on is right.
What the hell's going on here?
844-204-RICH is the number to dial here on the program. We're on Tyreek Hill watch today, folks. Didn't think we would be. Didn't think we would be. But this trade goes down. The Chiefs are not better for it. Period. You know, and Brett Veach, we trust, they say in Kansas City, not better for it. Period. End of story. And Tyreek Hill remains to be seen if he's better for it too. I don't know, man. You know, if he's going to Miami and New York, if those are his options, he's going to spots with second-year quarterback in New York and a third-year quarterback in Miami with all sorts of question marks around him. New head coach coming in, who I have all the faith in Mike McDaniel. As you know, he had me at hello on this program. But neither of them are remotely in the country code of Patrick Mahomes.